Hey y'all, welcome back to the San Diego Bass Fishing Podcast. Thank you for showing up. If this is your first time, please go like, share, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to us. Goes a long ways with the YouTube algorithm, and I truly appreciate it. So it always shows you a lot of support when you hit that subscribe button. Even more so if you shared the channel, if you shared that episode. But thanks for showing up here, and thanks for putting your time in and clicking on the channel. Really appreciate it. Today we are bringing you a couple of anglers who have been on the podcast before, super great guys, and they have achieved something that I haven't heard of in the past. I'm sure it's been done before, but they have become anglers of the year in twice in the same season. Once for East County Bait and Tackle, and the other is for the American Bass Association, the ABA here in San Diego. We have John Bell and Craig Taylor on today with a pretty big interview, and we talk about how their year went and how they stayed on top of the game. They never finished worse than fifth. Their lowest place finish was fifth. They had numerous first places, numerous second places, a couple of thirds. So it was an outstanding season for those two guys, and they came out on top in both of them. So Anglers of the Year, we have that interview coming up for you, so stay tuned for that. Today, as far as the lakes are concerned, let's see, today is Monday, and this past weekend, Lower Otay has been open this up until yesterday. I don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday. I'll try to get some information from Erica. I don't. She was going to call it, last weekend, last morning, and it just kind of kept going and going, and it's still open, and guys were able to get out there on Sunday and launch boats. So the lake level, as of Monday, right now, they were launching boats yesterday on Sunday. Are they going to be able to launch boats on Wednesday? I don't know. You're going to have to call down there, or maybe just show up on Wednesday. Take your chances. See if they let you launch. What I think the thing is they're waiting for somebody to really. The next person that falls off the end of the ramp is going to be the last person that falls off the end of the ramp, and they're going to close it at that point. So. If you go there, especially if you have a bigger boat, there is a chance that you're going to fall off the end of the ramp. I hope you're okay. I hope it's all good. You don't bang up your trailer. You don't mess up your trailer anyhow, trying to get your trailer back out, and much less your boat back out of, at Lower Otay. But that's the way I see it right now as far as Lower Otay goes. El Cap, of course, super low, no launch ramp there, and San Vicente is dropping. The water level is still dropping, and it's going to continue to drop. But on the other hand, San Vicente is still 40 feet away, 40 vertical feet away from losing the launch ramp. So San Vicente's got a long ways to go. It's got a crazy amount of water in it. It's got a lot of water, but it's losing water every day as we come to you live. A couple of things is we did have a tournament at San Vicente this past weekend, and congratulations to Craig Taylor, who won it. He was fishing for John Bell and Craig Taylor both, but John was busy that day on Saturday. Craig was by himself. He beat the remaining 17 boats that were out there at San Vicente for the East County Bait and Tackle. And congratulations, he had 12 and a half pounds, something 12.7, 12 and a half pounds, and everybody else had less than that. There was a lot of fish caught at San Vicente this past week. Fishing is not bad at San Vicente. I had, for my pre-fish, I had some slow days, and then on Friday, I had a great day. And I only fished there for a few hours on Friday. Saturday, again, caught just a mess of fish. I don't know how many we caught it for the boat, Gemini, maybe 30. There was times where we went 5 for 5 or 3 for 3, on each cast, and calling your shots, that kind of thing. But they just weren't very big. And we ended up, and Jim and I ended up in 6th place. We had 10.5 pounds, you know. We culled up to 10.5 pounds after 30 fish. Maybe we had 20, but it was a lot. I didn't have the keeper counter going or anything, but we were calling all day. We had we had our first limit there by 6:45, whatever. It was great. It was good, and it was a lot of fun. It wasn't like dragging all day or anything. We were jig minnowing and sonaring, and got some on Cincos, got some on Koiki balls, and all the stuff. So San Vicente is not a bad choice at this point. The walk is long. The walk is far up that ramp to go get your truck. No doubt about that. As far as we've seen it, really. So, and it's about as low as we've seen it since they've reopened it in 2016 or whatever it was, 2014. The water is very low. Sutherland again is very low. As far as water levels go, Hodges is staying the same, very low, no launch ramp, you know, kayaks only. It's really turned into, and I know the kayak guys are really getting a kick out of this, but it's turning into a kayak float tube mecca here in San Diego between Sutherland, El Cap, Hodges, Morena. You can still launch at Morena, but I think Morena is probably not too far behind them. Barrett, you know, Barrett is good. Water's coming down in Barrett because it's going into Otay, but not at a fast clip. So there's plenty of water in Barrett. It's like 75%. Fishing at Barrett is mediocre at best, especially by Barrett standards. By Barrett standards, it's awful. But if you compared it to any other lakes, it's okay. Does it justify the big price tag? Not really. Not in my opinion. No. Not at all. Not even close. Because you can go to El Cap, fish the shore, fish from a kayak, float tube, and catch 30 fish in the morning. You can go to San Vicente and catch, you know, launch your boat and catch 30 fish for the day. And you know, you have chances of catching good ones. There was numerous 5-pounders that I heard of in practice. I had a 5.5 pounder. I can show it to you here. In practice, the looks like a 6-pounder or 7-pounder, but it was only 5.5. And that was from San Vicente. You know, there's chance of that. There's always chances of big fish at Cap. There's always chances of big fish at Hodges. Now Hodges, I mean, I guess we might as well just go into a lake report here. You know, 7 minutes into it. So let me run through it again. I talked about San Vicente. You know, San Vicente's good. Otay has been good. I got a couple of reports here this past week. In the last few days, things have changed at Otay. They're starting to group up. They're starting to school up. They're starting to bust. Guys are getting them on sonar minnows, karashis, all that fun stuff. Forward facing is not a must, but it's a big help. And it sounds like really good fishing. Fishing is coming along at Lower Otay. Like I said, Barrett is mediocre at best. We went over Barrett already. I don't want to talk about it anymore. If you do go out to Barrett, you know, you're going to fish worms, Cincos. There's a lot of moss, a lot of green slime at Barrett, so you can't let anything sink into a bush because it just immediately gets caught up. So you got to fish a Cinco through a bush or like twitch it out, or a fluke. Fish a fluke around a bush, something like that. Hodges, not a lot of word coming out of Hodges right now. Pretty slow, but you can still get out there. Chances of catching a really big one is good at Hodges, obviously, always is. Sutherland, water has come down a lot. I mean, it's not come down a lot. We already know that it's come down a lot. There's rumor of it coming down even more. I haven't heard of it dropping any more yet. It's still at the same level as it was a month ago, which is super low, but there is a decent topwater bite going on there in the mornings. You know, get them on smaller walking baits or poppers, maybe even a buzz bait. And then it goes offshore after that, and look for offshore schools. Paddle around, throw your karashis into them, throw your magic swimmers into them, something like that, fly line flukes, anything like that, and that'll get those fish at Sutherland. So Sutherland's a good option. I haven't heard much about Morena lately. It was decent, but now it's not good. And then we have the king of all kings as far as low water goes is El Capitan, and it's super good out El Cap. But at the same time, the word has been out, and everybody knows that it's good, and a lot of people are going out there. It's super crowded at Cap. There, you're going to be looking at 15 to 20 kayaks a day, even in the middle of the week. There's going to be 20, 30 people on shore from the launch ramp all the way to the dam. Most of that good fishing has been coming around the aerator. Guys have been fishing the aerator with like fly line flukes and karashis, underspins, still getting them really good. You can go down the bank in the mornings with a medium diver or square bill and an underspin on any rock. Fish is still up charging on that shad at El Cap. Great fishing. The size, for some reason, the size has gotten a little smaller, but there's still plenty of 3.5, 4.5 pound fish in the mix. It's always like that at El Cap. You don't know if your next cast is going to be a 6, 7, 8 pounder anytime, even when you're fishing the aerator. And that's about it for a lake report. Maury is back and forth. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. You always have a chance of catching a decent fish there at Maury, 6, 7 pounds, like that. They're schooled up. They're starting to school up, getting on bait. And Miramar has gone through the paces. A lot of drop shot fish, a lot of smaller fish at Miramar, but you can go out there and put a day together. So Miramar is not a bad choice. That is an option. So that is basically the intro and the lake report. We are going to go and jump into the juice. Thanks for watching. All right, welcome back to the juice. Here we are at the beginning of June 1st. And are you guys watching softball? Are you guys watching the World Series of softball? I always watch softball at this point. I watch the ending brackets and whatever, and I get totally enthralled. And tonight, Texas Tech and Alabama are going to be playing. Najee is going to be, I don't know if she's going to be starting for Texas Tech. I don't even know who I want to win. Alabama's a super powerhouse. Texas Tech is great. Terry was throwing fire last night. I just watched Tennessee get beat by Texas 2 in a row, double elimination. Carolyn Pickens was throwing fire, 75 miles an hour, crazy. A consistent 75 miles an hour, but they got beat anyway. I was hoping for Tennessee to go, but anyway, tonight is Alabama, Texas Tech, and they will be up against Texas Longhorns. I think it's on Wednesday. But anyway, enough of that. I'm wearing my Brewers hat because the Brewers is kicking ass. As much as I would like to be wearing a Padres hat, the Padres, man, what is going on? What's going on? We finally got Fernando back in play, and he hit a dinger finally. After how many games did he go without hitting a home run? Much less even just hits. But looks like he might be back into play. He's finally got some bats, but still we still lost. But Brewers are good. Brewers are doing really good. They did get beat by the Dodgers the other day, though. Which, how can you go up against a $400 million team? It's tough. So anyway, sorry about that. That's enough of that. We're going back, get into fishing. And this is kind of fishing. This is fishing related. This is serious fishing related. And this has to do with our low water. Our low water has allowed for us to this huge opportunity of bank fishing. So So El Cap, you can walk almost all the way around to the outhouse. I don't know how muddy it is in the north end. Like, I'm sure it's really, really muddy. You'd have to find some dry ground to cut across that. But you can walk all the way past Conejos, all the way up. Like, there is tremendous amount of shore fishing access to Lake Hodges, El Capitan, Morena, Sutherland, a little bit at Barrett. What we have in San Diego, though, that is not a great thing for shore fishing is we have hot weather and a lot of brush, a lot of it's overgrown, a lot of fuel out there. I don't know how this fire season is going to go. A lot of fuel out there and a lot of rocks. So you're rock hopping a lot. And around all this stuff are rattlesnakes. And I hate rattlesnakes. So when I go pond hopping, when I go shore hopping, this is your juice right here. That's what I wear. I talked to Kevin Matson, snake guy extraordinaire, who goes out and hunts snakes, goes out shed hunting, hunts snakes, spends a lot of time out in the sticks. This is what he recommended. This is right here. These are the ones. And so I went and bought them, and you can see how muddy they are. These are snake boots. I highly recommend snake boots. So there's kind of 3 levels of them. And they're not necessarily snake boots, but I'm going to show you. So I would say, like, the first level, the first thing you want to do is just make sure that you have something that covers up your ankles mid-shin. And these aren't snake boots per se, but they're better than nothing. And they're good for mud. And this would be the Alaska tennis shoe. This would be the thing that every deckhand in the San Diego fleet wears day in, day out. And these are their extra tough boots. Now, are these snake proof? Not really. But this is a lot better than just bare ankles and a sock and a pair of pants. So it comes up mid-calf, you know, it keeps your feet dry while you're walking around. Boots. My next thing I would suggest is this type of boot. This is my work boot, you know, slide on, but it's heavy leather, snake proof. This will be snake proof. They're not getting through this. If they got through this, I'd be super surprised. But mid-calf, it's not the greatest of hiker. You know, this is more of a, you know, working around the house kind of thing, doing yard work or whatever. But at least it's mid-calf, and at least it's something that's going to protect you, give you a chance of walking out if you do encounter a rattlesnake. The best, again, are these. And these are recommended 100% snake boots. Snake bite boots, they go up to the top of the calf. A lot of laces, really good arch in them. And these are Rocky Lights, as you can see right there. Rocky snake boots. These are the deal. Super comfortable, wear them all day, great for hiking, waterproof. Look at that mud. I sank down into mud the other day that was like coming up. Well, I had pants on, so you can't really see, but you can see, this is where my pants stopped, but the mud was like up here. At El Cap, there's like some serious mud at El Cap. You got to be careful walking around, because it's just like you're just walking, and you step, boom, step into it, and you're like over your foot and sucking mud. Like if you had any other shoe on other than a boot that came up past your calf, you would lose your shoe, guaranteed. You'd be walking back, you know, in your socks, back to your car. Your day is ended. Rocky snake boots, Rocky Lights. They're not that expensive. I was surprised. This is on the cheaper end of the spectrum. 100% snake proof, mud proof, waterproof, good traction. Highly suggest, if you're going to do a lot of shore fishing around multiple lakes, all of our lakes have rattlesnakes around them. Southern Pacific, red diamond, maybe even Mojave greens, several different kinds spotted. There's several different kinds of rattlesnakes. They're all bad news. They will all get you and send you to the hospital. You do not want to go to the hospital with a snake bite. It's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the venom, anti-venom. So take care of yourself. Hydrate, snake boots, backpack, some kind of snacks, and some fishing lures and tackle. I don't know. It's not much of a juice today, but at the same time, this will save your life. So save your life. It'll keep you fishing. If you do get bit by a snake when you're wearing snake boots, you know what? Your day is not ended. You can keep on fishing. If you don't have snake boots on and you get stung by a snake, you're going to be out for a while. You're going to be life flighted. So something to think about. I have seen numerous snakes in the water. Numerous snakes in the water at these lakes. So many. And it doesn't even matter if they're around houses or whatever. I think I've seen most of them at Hodges. The Hodges is super snaky. San Vicente is surprisingly snaky. I shouldn't say surprisingly snaky because they're all snaky. Barrett is terrible. There's guys, have you heard the stories of the guys, the float tubers at Barrett? I've heard two different guys of float tubers in Barrett having rattlesnakes crawl in to their float tube behind them. Oh my God, what a nightmare. Nightmare. So be careful out there. Snakes are real. It's getting hot. There's already, what were they saying? There's already been a record number of interactions with snakes this year in San Diego County. So let's be careful out there. Take care of yourself. If you're going fishing around the lakes, watch out for those snakes. They're underneath the rocks. They're in the shade. Watch where you put your hands. Watch where you're putting your feet. So be careful. We have this huge opportunity this year, at least this year, of all this bank fishing. And it's a great way to introduce yourself to the lakes, but be careful. So that's your juice of the day. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so welcome back to the San Diego Bass Fishing Podcast. John Bell, Craig Taylor. And the reason that you're here today is, well, big congratulations on your season. What a dominating season you guys have had. What does it entail? What'd you guys do?
Whew. I mean, I think this year we just fished different. We fished more mobile. We tried different stuff. We learned a lot more about changing up what we're doing and just not getting stuck on the same thing and sitting on the same points, doing the exact same thing. And I mean, I think our instincts kind of kicked in and we started chasing fish around the lake, to be 100% honest. Yeah.
100%. We were talking about this yesterday that, in the past, we always, prided ourselves in being good structure fishermen and be able to just sit on a spot and work it for all it's got. But I mean, honestly, with forward facing sonar, with sitting on a spot like that, you kind of sit and you see and you're like, okay, well, dude, they're gone. Like, not here anymore. It's like, you'll see certain spots where you can tell fish are coming and going off certain spots, but then there's some spots where you're like, dude, I think we might have either caught everything off it or they're just not here anymore. And so we've learned that you just can't just sit there and wait for it to happen anymore. It has worked for us in the past, but more oftentimes than not, it ends up being a bad thing for us, and we end up wasting too much time doing that. So we've learned to just leave. We've got a big motor on the back of the boat, and it can take us wherever we need to go on that lake in a hurry. So we've started actually using that.
Yeah.
We found too, like if you get up and go and stop somewhere, you get 1 or 2 or 5 bites sometimes. And then once that's over, move on, keep going. Just stay mobile, stay active, fish fresh fish, and think that was a huge part of our success this year, and trying different stuff, having key rods on deck, but then throwing something completely off the wall, and we had a lot of nice fish doing that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling that same thing to a client the other day. She was asking me, she's like, how is fishing different, now? Or I was trying to explain to her how it is now. And I'm like, one of the things that I said to her, I said, there's somebody out there catching fish right now. And times have changed to where you can't just sit here and wait for these fish to bite, because you need to be out there looking for that bite. You need to find it before somebody else does, or, well, basically that's it. You just got to keep moving and keep looking.
yep.
You can't, unless you have something going on at a certain spot at a certain time of day, and you're going to sit there to fend people off of it before it happens because of our lakes are being so small, then you have to be going out and actively looking for those bites.
And
Well,
it's funny. It's sorry. The first time we actually did that was that first tournament this year in January, when everything happened right off the bat, first thing in the morning, and we knew because we just knew what was going on with the lake that time, and I think we had 14 something pounds off it, which was huge for that what was going on that time of year, and we're like, the spot will reload again probably. So I think we just need to protect it, because we didn't want anyone else coming in and
Right.
picking. Back then a 3-pounder went a long way on the lake, and so we kind of stayed around it. We some guys came in for a little bit, but they kind of just blew right through it, and we kind of just guarded it and caught a bunch of fish off to the side, but it wasn't anything like we had caught that morning and what the actual spot was holding. So we did do that one time this year, but after that, it's been trolling motor on 10. I mean,
Moving.
Yeah.
we've been moving and covering a lot of water.
I think too, like you're saying, Bruce, like waiting for time of day, and that is, it is definitely a real thing. But after you show them your cards throughout the day, I mean, even if those fish fire up, but they've already seen your free rig or your dick rig or your drop shot or whatever it is,
Right.
like then you sit there for 4 hours and you're like, they're gonna bite at 11, and 11 rolls around and that doesn't happen. Then you're like, that was a lot of standing around making casts for a couple of bites that now you're really scrambling. Now you got a couple hours in the tournament and you got to go. It's like, I think that's something that we did a lot in the past, that this year we kind of, I don't know, somehow just figured it out. So
yeah. So what was your key bait this year? How have things changed in that way? Do you still what was tied on the end of your rods primarily?
there's always a free rig on deck 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Dick rigs, different minnows, just kind of, we would chase the fish around with different stuff, and like we'd be scoping with a minnow and then start casting at the bank, and a lot of our fish would come off of just completely switching up what you're doing.
Yeah.
Brian Graves was a good example of that. I think I got one decent one on the minnow, but it was clear that it wasn't happening. And
Right.
we were at one point where it just felt like we were force feeding it, and John was on the back and he grabs a free rig and casts out, sticks a nice one, like right off the bat, and then does it again. So it's like, okay, maybe this is what we should be doing right now. And I think that's been a huge part of our plan, is like, when one of us starts catching something on a certain thing, we don't have that mentality of, well, I'm going to throw something different and see if it draws a bigger bite. It's like, no, throw what they're biting.
Oh my God.
Get the
I'm
bite.
so glad you said that.
Get the bites, man. It's kind of like, don't leave fish to find, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's like, dude, you're getting the bites on this. It's not that, oh, I think a bigger one's going to want to eat this because it's a bigger, bulkier, whatever. It's just you're not throwing it on the right spot. And when you have the right bait on the right spot, they're going to eat it.
You're going to know.
Yep.
They're going to tell you that.
are going to eat it, regardless if it's a 4-inch robo worm or a 5-inch cross style bait.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the right spot at the right time, they're going to eat it. So, and it's like, if that's what they're into, if they're into a small profile bait that day, then keep that in your hands. Go to your big fish confidence spot and throw that, you know, because that's clearly what they're eating.
Right.
You know, we've tried so many, in the past, like, all right, I'm going to throw this and I might get one bite all day, but I'm going to get a big bite. And then it never happens. That's why I'm not a swim bait guy. I'll throw a glide bait a little bit, but those days are over of, man, I'm just going to cast all day for 1 or 2 bites. In tournament fishing, that it doesn't work unless you're like back in the days, like Jimmy and Noy, when they would, sack up 30 pounds when we were getting trout stocks. But now it's, maybe you'll get a big bite a day, but I'd rather catch multiple quality fish than, one giant and have a bunch of, scramble all day to catch a limit and catch a bunch of little squeaks to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And still sitting at 13, 14 pounds with everybody else.
Yeah.
I think that's been a big thing with us, is just, if it's working, why not double the odds and keep that going? Unless you have a multifaceted spot where maybe one guy can fish this section of rock with this and somebody can fish outside with maybe a little bit different bait, but kind of in the same wheelhouse. So maybe an adjustment in weight size or something, but we tend to kind of throw the same thing when it's working.
Okay. So I got this question for you too. And we kind of wonder this in our boat and whatever, and how other people do it, is how, when you're forward facing, how do you both fish? Like, are you both up in the front looking at fish and casting to specific fish, or is one guy in the back doing something, trying to just fan casting, or what? How do you two go about that?
I would say it's situational, to be honest. Like, we had a tournament this year, one of the ones that we won, where it was blowing so hard that we would take turns on the trolling motor.
Yeah.
Targeting individual fish, and the other guy would fish for him. So your one job was to keep the beam on that fish. And that way the other guy could focus on fishing for that fish. And we caught a couple really key fish that day in conditions that were not favorable to doing what we were doing. But
I've got a really good video of it in action, and I've been reluctant to post it. But after this, I might post it just to show how the teamwork played in catching the big fish of the day for us. It was a 4.5 pounder. It was late in the day. I think it's like 10 minutes before weigh-in. Like, it was close to weigh-in.
It was late.
And we were out in the main lake, and it was that day. It was blowing a solid 20 to 25. And there's wakeboard boats out there. It was chaotic. And we were kind of making our run down this section of bank, and bam, big one shows up in front of us. John jumps on the motor. I had the rod, and he kept the boat in position and the beam on that fish while I worked the minnow. And it's important because the way you work the minnow makes a huge difference a lot of times. There's there's cadences, there's ways to pull it away from them, ways to give it back to them. You kind of tease them like a cat in a ball of string. And it was huge. I wouldn't have been able to do that trying to fight the waves, the wind, standing up front like that. That's something that never would have happened unless John was there to hold that motor, hold me in position to be able to do it. And if it would have happened to be when John was in the position to do it, I would have done the same thing. And it's just, that's the way it works. When we're scoping, we're just taking turns. We're not saying you go for that one, I'll go for the one behind it, because that just doesn't work ever. It's
right. Yeah.
Pick a fish and we watch, and if I cast at one and it doesn't work out, usually John and I will have like a different variation of a minnow on, so we can give them 2 different looks. But like I said, if it's the one that's working and we know it's the one, we both have the same thing. So, we'll take 2 shots at a fish if we can. Usually you can't. If a fish doesn't commit, usually it just swims right down to the bottom and out of sight and you never see it again. Or they follow it right up to the boat and then they just sit under the trolling motor for 5 minutes and what are you gonna do? You can't.
Yeah.
Except one time though, at Otay tournament earlier this year, John actually got one of those fish to bite again. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. I keep remembering that. You tell me
He
that
played
story.
with that thing for like 3 minutes under the boat. Like
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
just kept
wild.
staying there, and I was like, "Dude, are you done with that thing yet?" He's like, "But it's still here." I'm like, okay, and finally the rod just got heavy and the thing bit.
Yeah. That's crazy to me.
But
Craig did that
that's
with.
like a 1 in 100 fish. That almost never happens.
Well,
But
you did that last weekend too with that nice one, that 4.5.
yeah. At the end of the tournament, I had one that was like that. That I just was hovering that minnow, shaking it. It would come up, it'd go back down, come up, go back down, put its nose on it. It was like your minnow and the bait just your minnow and the fish just merged into one. And I was just like, come on, what is it doing with that thing? And then finally it just got heavy.
Yeah.
And it's like never felt, you almost never feel them thump it or eat it like that anyway. But this was just the weirdest. It just got heavy and I was like, did I get the stick that thing was hanging out next to? Like, what's going on? It's just sometimes they do that.
Yeah.
Persistence. Sometimes you've got to know how much time you're going to dedicate to one fish, because a lot of times you'll just waste time. And it's like, for me, that's usually, if that one doesn't bite, I'm off to the net. I'm not even looking at that fish again. I might make one more. But on a day like we had, not this last tournament, the one before that, the ABA at Otay, we didn't see many big fish. So it wasn't one of those times where it's like, oh, there'll be another one 30 yards down the bank. It's kind of like, well, here's a big one here. Like, let's really try for it. And that's how John got the first big one of that tournament, was being super persistent on a fish that was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to ask you next, is how much time do you spend on a fish, and how do you know how long you should spend on it? I guess from the fish's point of view, or the way the fish is reacting toward your baits, you obviously it cuts the chase. But if that fish is in like a negative mood or a neutral mood, do you keep casting to it while you can, if you're still 40 or 50 feet away?
If they don't show any interest, is when if they stop showing any interest at all, we give up on them.
Yeah.
But sometimes they'll chase it and they'll get behind it and back off, and then we've had it several times too, where like I'm working the minnow, or Craig, is working it, and then the other one casts in, and all of a sudden that fish sees it in a different light and comes up and eats it. So
right.
Yeah. Sometimes catching that fish when it's already been kind of harassed and bothered, and they get a little bit flared up and you can see it on the graph, but they're just not doing something. Sometimes having a second minnow dropping in hot on them just flips that switch and just makes them come unglued and want to kill it. And you're like, why did it want that one? It's been staring at this one, and this one's coming down, and all of a sudden it totally loses interest in the one that's just twitching in its face, and it wants that one all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But we get up on it pretty quick.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell Jim about that yesterday, and it's like, man, if they're one cast and then I'm on to the next one. It's like, just keep going. If they don't show interest, if they back off, if they just, if they didn't bite, then just keep going. Just go.
Yeah.
But
You'll
maybe I
just
should give it a little bit more chance to those bigger ones.
One thing that we have learned a lot this year too is you can tell the mood of the fish by how they're coming back on the sonar. Like, you'll watch the fish completely change. You'll see the feedback from them is totally different, and you're like, these ones are gonna bite, or they're at least gonna act different. And that's one thing that we really started paying attention to. And it's like, okay, they're starting to flare up a little bit, so then we'll go run the banks that we were trying to catch them on before, where maybe they weren't biting, and all of a sudden you go in there and you catch a couple.
Yeah.
100%. You'll see them. They look different on the screen. They turn a completely different color. They get hot.
Get bright.
They get hot, but they also get fuzzy, if that makes sense. It's I think when they get in that agitated mood, or like when they're in a hunting mood, things kind of flare out. Their dorsal fin spikes up a little more. Their pectorals flare out back towards the beam, and it sends back almost a shine. Like, I've tried to explain this to people, like when you notice when you're throwing a chatterbait on forward facing, every now and then when the blade hits just right, it sends almost like a pulsing flash back at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
The fish will almost do that when they get in that mood. And I almost think it's their pectorals flaring out and sending a flat, feedback right back at you. And it's a weird shine flash that they do sometimes. And when they're swimming in a certain way, like, you just know, it's like, that bass is in a bad mood right now and it will eat. And, like, you get into little spurts of them, or little honey holes, areas where they're just in that mood. And you're like, it's gonna go down right now.
Yeah.
You end up. So yeah, little details like that we definitely pay a lot of attention to. Like we'll be running down the bank and be like, that one's gonna bite, and sure enough, bite.
Most of the time they do. You're like, oh, you're sorry, fish, but you're coming in the boat.
Yeah.
So.
It is fun to call your shots on it. So what kind of refinements in your tackle have you gone through? Are you basically fishing the same kind of thing that you were last year? Have you gone to like lighter lines? I know you guys have always been kind of a proponent of light line, but have you made any more refinements this year?
Well, sometimes we'll drop down in line size, especially if we know where we're fishing and we can get away with it. We'll keep it light. I mean, Brian Graves, another good example of it. We were kind of hauling water on our minnow fish, and I don't know, I dropped down to 4-pound test because we were scoping out over 80 feet of water.
Yeah.
And that's what the big one I got was almost 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Which was second big fish of that tournament. And I think it was because I dropped in line size. I just had one finally commit. And I don't know if it was because the minnow was moving different or just they didn't see it as well, but they were just in that weird spooky mood. And I didn't care. We were over 80 feet of water. I was like, John, how deep are we? While I was fighting it, I had my drag way backed off. I was fishing it like a trout, super light drag.
Yeah.
And that just worked out for us. But I don't think that we've really made any big adjustments. I just think we're just more open-minded about where we need to go.
Yeah.
And when we need to move. Like, we kind of both always at the same time, we kind of look at each other. We're like, let's go.
We'll start reeling in and putting our hooks on the rods. And then it's like, we don't even have to talk about it most of the time. Like, it's like that. Yeah, it's done right here. Let's go make a move.
Yeah.
Just in sync, I guess, we always fish like that, but it's just this year it was you're like, I'm done in your own head, and you're going to put your rod down, and Craig's pulling the trolling motor, and it's like,
I don't think you guys made a bad move this year. That was a pretty outstanding that was a pretty outstanding seasons you guys had. Like that was very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we're really happy with it. And I think we've been really lucky, but we've also been making some pretty important calls, like some pretty key, like, adjustments and moves, and just like starting points and in our practice, and finding areas that maybe they didn't bite in practice, but we knew they were there. And we say, we'll practice on that spot and we'll get them. We'll find out, we'll figure them out. Like, they're eating something. What we did in practice obviously wasn't working, but they're there, they'll eat something.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of that. We do a lot of kind of like shooting off the cuff. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
There. The fish, that's obviously the number one thing is you got to be around them. So if you're around them, then you got a shot. So we don't get too discouraged with bad practices. Because we know like we can go figure something out, and
Yeah.
we'll figure it out together as a team. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of having a good teammate, is
Yeah.
just like we know how to work off each other. We know how to make each other laugh. Like something bad happens, like John always has something to say to get me in a better mood, you know.
We joke around a lot. Like a lot of guys, you see them fishing and they're just like
They look
dead
miserable.
serious. And I'm
They look
like,
miserable.
dude, we're laughing all day long. And I think that's, part of it is like, we do take it very seriously. Like, don't get us wrong. But like, sometimes you just have to laugh it off because things happen that are so out of your control that you're just like, let's make a dumb joke and keep moving.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
Been-
mean the
been
slow
good.
times on the boat are the funnest times, honestly, because that's when the jokes come out. That's when just I don't know, man. If most of the stuff wouldn't be safe for any platform, the stuff we talk about and say, but it's just funny. We just keep each other just laughing, even on the worst days. Like we never really get too down about it because we always find something funny, something to laugh about. John, I mean, I'm sure, like John knows every joke ever written. I don't know how he remembers jokes. I don't remember jokes at all, but John remembers every single joke he's ever heard. So type
They
those
all,
things off.
they all suck, but I still got them.
Yeah. Right.
No, but and like when one of us does get down, the other one like I feel like if one of us isn't fishing well, the other one's on fire. Like it's just
Yeah.
we're not like trying to catch that person's fish. We do that a lot too, where somebody's on them and it's like just keep doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I got the net, I got the culling, like just you're on them right now. Whatever you've got going on, your cadence, your everything, like just go to work.
Yeah.
I'll do the
We've done
rest.
that a lot. We've done that a lot where it's like one of us will just be kind of just standing behind the other and just ready with a net, ready for anything they need, trolling motor adjustment, cast on a big fish and it looks like it's tracking. John will step to the side and I'll get on the trolling motor and keep it pointed at it. And we do this without talking. We
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
it's an automatic thing. That's to go when you practice. Sometimes we used to split up and go in separate boats and, we're going to see the whole lake this way. And it's like, it's better to just practice with your partner.
Yeah.
It really is. If you can practice together, it's way.
That's a good observation. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's because you can still, our lakes are small enough. You can explore the whole thing in a half a day if you really want to, spend a couple minutes at each little area and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
So practicing with somebody I don't know, I think it's better because you're bouncing ideas off each other in real time. You're watching it. You're both seeing what's happening instead of his story of what he did and mine, and then trying to mesh them together. It can cause confusion sometimes where it's like, well, I don't know, man, my spot was pretty good. It's like, dude, my spot was really good too. It's like, well, then where do we go?
Yeah. And then what if it's the wrong decision at that point? It's like
we've seen teams in the past implode. not you guys, but we've watched some stuff happen with other teams. But at the same time, you guys are fishing like like the Strelix or Rusty or whoever, you guys are really meshing well here and it shows, obviously.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I think a lot of it is also, just we've always fished similar, like our style and what we like to do has always been kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also so willing to like try new stuff and keep it fresh because it's fun learning a new technique. I mean,
Except for the Koike.
no, that thing is stupid.
Oh boy, here we go.
Had to come up
The
eventually.
Koike. We suck with that thing. Like just flat out, we suck, and it kicked our ass at Otay multiple times this year. But
yeah, I know. I even had him in the box, and I didn't give him the proper respect. I had them, you know,
Yeah.
being working at the store and whatever. And it was funny because, you know, at the store we had them. They were borderline bargain bin before October, like when
I
the
know.
whole thing came down. When they really gained popularity, they were still a dog toy. We just laughed at them like, this is stupid. Like, boy, what a
No,
game
I looked at him
changer.
in the case for a long time, and I was like, I'm never throwing that stupid thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last tournament at Otay, we had like a window where we just smoked them on them, and we're like, cool. At least this is the last tournament at Otay. Like,
Yeah,
sweet.
it was that aha moment of like, oh,
Oh yeah, here, they
ah.
do work. They are biting them, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're just like, oh
Choke.
my god, they're really biting them.
yeah. You're
Dude,
like, dude, that thing is
smoking
Dang.
it, like straight up, just slack line, just. Boom. We're like, oh my god, they want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I felt like I was late to the party on that too. Next thing I know, you know, we had one of our good friends like coming in and just like, dude, have you fished this yet? I'm like, nah, you know, I watched the videos. They're like, you need to go out and put some time in and this is the real thing. And I was like, and then next thing I know, he kept talking about it, kept showing me pictures. So I finally went out and did it.
yeah. Who, Jay?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Well, okay. Since you
I
brought it
know.
up.
He told me, and he was telling me and showing me pictures and like stuff, and he's like, dude, do it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do it, but I was like, I don't know how it's going to translate into the tournament thing, and
Yeah. Yeah.
sure enough, it worked us 3 tournaments. I think that it really was a player for
Yeah.
other guys, and we just totally missed that.
Yeah. It's like dedicated rods now, you know?
Yeah, I
Yep.
have a rod specifically for it now.
Yeah. I got,
Um,
2 rods, different sizes.
and
Yeah.
I'm still figuring it out, but I think I've actually settled on I'm using my my Megabass, my P5 Destroyer, my Mad Bull. It's kind of like their heavier reaction bait type rod for bigger top waters and stuff like that. And it's good. It's got enough of that. It's almost like a really heavy jerk bait rod.
Uh,
So you
yeah.
can pop that thing. It's not really like pulling it too far away.
Mm,
It's making it jump and flare like it's supposed to, I guess. I mean, like we
yeah.
said, still figuring it out.
Yeah.
But I like fishing it with the treble hook.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
the
That's a,
softer rod, it bends into that secondary action and keeps them pinned when
Have you been losing them
I
at
lost.
all with the
I'm
treble hook?
losing Koikis. No, not really.
Yeah.
They stay on better, I think, for me with that. But I think it's a lot of it's that rod, honestly. It's that rod
Yeah,
absorbed.
could be.
yeah.
Jay is complaining about losing them with treble hook. I haven't gone to a treble hook. I feel like I haven't had to yet, but Jay says he's losing them. He's getting all irritated because he's losing his full casts.
Yeah, I know.
Can't get them.
He ain't getting them back. Like
I have to go
he was-
grab a phone charger real quick. I'll be right back.
yeah, for sure.
One sec.
Yeah, I think with that with the treble hook thing, I don't know. Like, I guess you can do it with the single hook too. I mean, I know you talked about like throwing the weight like a free rig style weight
Yeah.
with a opening in it and skin hooking it and then holding
Yeah.
it. So that way, if the Koiki pulls off, it'll float up because once you start putting nail weights in those things,
Yeah, that's
it
when you lose
comes
them.
off and sayonara. You're
Yeah.
out. You know,
Yeah.
75, whatever they cost. People on eBay are selling them for $200. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're 140 to 180, something like that right now. I don't even know. I haven't even looked. Like the full cast scupper nog is probably $200 at this point, new in the box.
But I mean, we've been, going through. I have a couple of the full casts or the hide up ones,
Mm.
and I'm scared to even throw them. I got like 2 of them, and I'm scared to throw them. We've been using the PB ball. That
Yeah,
thing's
Yeah, it works. Works.
money. That thing gets smoked.
cool.
And it's cheap, and you can get them. So we're all about it.
Can you, maybe I'm wrong about this because I thought you had to keep them separated. Can you throw them in the same box, or do you have to keep this, like the hide up Quakies separate from the PB balls?
I try to keep them separate, but I'm pretty sure they're touching each other. And I haven't checked on them in a while, so
Yeah, because they're two different materials.
yeah, we'll see.
Where they would make them melt or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like the hide ups they have two different. They have like a harder version and then the softer one, and the PB ball is more like the soft version,
Right.
which
Yeah.
I like. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for the harder version. I'm sure it excels in different scenarios, but
Mhm.
for us, the soft one's been good. Like when we've actually put our head down and used it, like in that tournament, it was good.
Yeah.
We just
fun.
had I guess execution errors. We had a lot of them come off, and
Well, when you're snapping it and they eat it like at the end of when you snap it, and you're like, oh, it's like fishing a jerk bait, but it's even harder to hook a fish on those than a jerk bait, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the only way I got bit before last weekend on the thing was working it on the bottom with like a weedless hook, like shaking it on the bottom, and I'm like,
I know.
I don't know.
There was a guy at Murray got on an 11 that doing that, but
I believe
but
it.
I haven't caught anything off the bottom with them. It's all been mid water or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I've definitely noticed that for me anyway. Like those open water fish,
Yeah.
that doesn't work for me on that. Like they've got to be relating to the bottom or
Yeah.
near sort of structure or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's more of a lot of it's like, unless they're like just fired up and feeding, where it seems like maybe they'll eat kind of anything.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it is also just like a territorial thing. They just don't like something they don't understand in their zone, so they come up and eat it.
Yeah. I know those fry garters there a month ago at Otay were just like creaming them, but then I thought the same thing at San Vicente, and it didn't really work that well at San Vicente on fry garters. I had to use the jig minnow or whatever,
Yeah.
to finally get them to go. But I think also the whole fry garter thing too was, I talked to Colton about that, was like new fry garters are a lot easier to catch than old fry garters.
Yeah.
If they've been around fry a long time and they've probably seen a bunch of lures, they don't bite all that well. They look like they're gonna bite, but then they just don't bite.
Yeah, because they've already been caught.
Yeah.
I saw it yesterday. It's no secret. That's what I told everybody I was doing. I was focusing on deep fry balls with the minnow.
Yeah.
And you would cast at one and you'd see a fry garter get hot, but you knew he wasn't going to eat it. And as soon as he started coming out, another one would come out from the rocks that wasn't really associated with that fry ball. But once you got one of those fish fired and moving, the other ones would come in and they'd be kind of like, well, if you're not going to eat it, I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I caught one that wasn't going to help. And I was scanning around. I was watching his fry ball. I let that fish go.
Yeah.
And swam right back down and just sat right back in his fry ball.
Is that right?
Like, that's one that's not dead yet.
Yeah.
You know, it'll probably eat its own side, but it's probably not going to eat anything. At least a couple of days.
So anyway, speaking of those fry garters, not that we did very well, but I was telling like Tom Lowry and those guys, I was like, man, if I could get those fry garters to go, I'd win this thing. But I couldn't, up until the last day of practice, I couldn't catch one. I could not catch one. And I fished him. And finally on the Friday, 2 days ago, I was able to, I figured out a cadence or whatever, and was able to get him to go. Okay, he's back. Anyway, okay, so we were talking about fry garters.
Fry garters, yeah.
And how you won the tournament yesterday was on fry garters, on deep fry garters at San Vicente.
Deep, I mean, like 25 feet. Kind of seems like where those fry balls were.
Did you notice, was there something different about the ones that bit for you, or was it just kind of the same all over the lake or whatever?
I think the ones that bit better for me were honestly the smaller, more condensed fry balls.
Huh. Okay.
So,
There was some
I
big
mean,
ones out there.
yeah, there was some where it was kind of like not, I wouldn't say like screen fillers, but like they're spread out more like maybe like a 6 foot radius, 7 foot. I was doing better off the ones that I would say were maybe, I don't know, like on the screen, I would say in reference maybe like the size of a basketball or bigger, like small, like little small pockets of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Um,
Yeah.
and there'd be one moving around through it, and some of the ones that were guarding it would actually bite, but it was mainly the ones that would come off after the first, the one that was guarding it would show some interest or get flared up on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a behavioral thing, whereas maybe the bass that were kind of lingering around knew that as soon as this guy leaves the fry, maybe that's a cue for them to go in and mess with their fry. I'm not sure. But one would come up and then you'd see like 2 or 3 snake up out of the bottom that you never even saw were there.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And if like you'd have one going, the fry garter would come up like this, and then another one would just shoot up from deeper, like down
Yeah.
under the rock.
Yeah.
Just as soon as that one kind of slowed down, this one would just go whoop, I'm getting that. And it was like that. I probably caught like, I don't know, 10 fish that did that exact same thing.
Yeah.
And they were healthier fish too. They were in good shape. They weren't like the typical post spawn skinny zombie looking fish. These fish were all really fat and healthy.
Yep.
These fish yesterday were pulling so hard, and the day before they're fighting so hard. Like everyone you put the hook in feels like a giant at first.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I saw the
Good
same
to
thing.
see.
Yeah.
It's good
Otay,
to
not
see
so
them.
much.
Well, they still pulled like they were big, but they just didn't weigh very much at Otay. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what my phone did. It got really hot, and then my battery went from like 60 down to 7 real quick. So
Huh.
I'm back
Okay.
for the time being.
Yeah.
60, 70.
All right. Well, we're probably going to wrap it up here soon anyway, so we're not going to miss it. We're not missing much. The ladies softball the college World Series is on right now.
What?
Oh yeah. Do you watch softball?
No, I've
Dude,
not watched very much
I
of it.
started watching it last year, and I'm like, I don't know. I watch it. I like know all the players, and I at least I watch the brackets for the World Series because it's like a double elimination brackets. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's 20 games or something. There's like drama. They're setting records. There's home runs. There's just one girl that pitches like 79 miles an hour.
I think I saw that.
There's this, Carolyn Pickens from
Yeah.
Tennessee Bulls. Yeah.
Tennessee, yeah, the orange team, right?
Yeah. And then Texas Tech bought this pitcher for like over $1 million. It's one of the first players to receive money in this thing. And so she signed $1 million contract to play in college.
Wow.
Yeah, it's where they like give the money to the sponsor, like Nike, and then Nike, I don't know, it's some weird thing, but they figured out in college how to pay him. So
That's cool,
like
though.
changed the game.
Well,
That's
that's
awesome.
really good. Like I really see why that would be a good thing for college softball, because what is there after college? I mean, there's not like, is there like a professional league? So let them make money now as much as they can doing that, because I don't think there's like a professional softball teams.
There is,
Are
but
there?
there's no money in it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine WNBA is struggling to pay their players what professional
Softball
softball's paying. I mean, nothing against them, but
No, I know. It's just if it's not drawing viewers, then it's not. I mean, it's
right.
It's just
Right.
a reality of it. It's just
Yeah.
if you're getting viewers and you don't have money to pay.
It's sort of
Yeah.
it's so weird that college does that, you know, like college draws the viewers. Like college football, college basketball, how much betting goes on with college basketball, you know? Like
I
March
just think
Madness and all that. It's nuts.
I don't
But
watch the NBA. I never watched like a NBA game, but when
yeah,
March
yeah.
Madness comes through, like they're playing their heart out. They play as hard
Yeah.
as they can. It's like same
Yeah.
with college football. Like those people go out there and they're trying to get in the NFL. Like it's
Right.
trick plays. They're doing all kinds of like just crazy, stuff
Yeah.
you don't see in the NFL, and it's fun to watch. It's way more
Yeah.
exciting in my opinion.
Yeah. 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 I agree with you. So anyway, yeah,
Well,
softball's on this week.
well, you better get to it.
Tony
you're not.
Santiago came in the store this morning. He comes in on Sunday mornings, you know, really early before the whole rush hits, the whole
Yeah,
Shiner rush. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching softball." I'm all, "Oh, you watch softball too?" And we were both like going off each other, like talking about it. It was funny.
that's cool.
Yeah, I don't watch sports for the most part, but for some
Yeah,
reason, I mean, I watch the Padres, I guess. Jen, my wife, super into the Padres, super into the Padres. So we go to the games and whatnot. And but but for the most part, I don't watch sports. I go fishing.
yeah. I
You
I
I'm
know,
the
haven't
same
been.
way.
you know that.
I'm,
I watch curling during the Winter Olympics. I don't know
Oh,
what
we
it
did
is. It's
too. We watched
fascinating to
that.
me.
Yeah, that was
So
cool. That was
yeah, it's
fun.
fun to watch. I have a question for you, Bruce.
Yeah, what's up?
How many crawdad pieces have you seen in your live well at CNB in the last several months?
Oh, you know, I probably not very many. Not any for me. Why?
Just
I haven't
a
put.
question.
I haven't been live welling any fish other than tournament day.
Right, but still, even in the past, normally you would see a lot of crawdad pieces in your live well. And it
Sure.
was a conversation that came up at after the last tournament at Otay.
Uh-huh.
John Strelick asked, he's like, "Are there crawdads left in San Vicente?"
Oh,
And
yeah.
I
No,
was like,
I
I
haven't
didn't
seen
really
any.
think about it. Yeah, there's almost none. So
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what that means.
Yeah. No, all the
Did the,
crawdad pieces are from Otay or the river that are anything left
yeah,
over in my live well. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it would be from Otay. Yep. No, yeah, no, now that you mention it, I haven't seen any. There was
yeah,
none
we didn't think
yesterday.
about it either. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we were
something to think
culling.
about.
You know, we put a number of fish through those live wells, both sides, and it was yesterday, and we didn't nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, they're enjoying the fry. That's for sure.
They got to make their own food nowadays, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, it's just, and where are those huge schools of silver sides that are usually around right now? They haven't seen any
so
of that.
so
I've seen schools, but they're very small.
yeah, you know, you bring that up, and Jim saw it too. You know, the first time, so I kind of avoided Kimball. Whatever, I guess it's not even a big secret, but you know, all through practice, I avoided Kimball because Jim had been going back there and I didn't want to cover the same water as he was doing and blah blah blah. And he told me there was some fish back there. So Friday I finally went back in there and it was just like, well, what the heck is going on back here? And I like first thing in the morning you could see like breezers of them. Like
really?
I don't think it was fry. I think it was it was small balls of silver sides out in the
Okay.
middle.
Hmm.
Not on the bank, but out in the middle. You could drive around and you could see them, not so much on forward facing, but you could drive around and see them on side scan and on and down scan, and it was just
Yeah.
like BBs. It wasn't like anything big, but they were just like BBs of bait. Like
Yeah.
I kind of reckoned it to like looking for mackerel when you're like on the ridge and whatever. You get into an area and all of a sudden you're starting to see BBs of bait, not big clouds, but that's
Yeah.
what you wanted to see. You wanted to see lots of small spots of bait, and then it
That
kind of
reminds me of albacore fishing years ago.
yes, yeah,
Uh, you
yeah,
know, the
yeah.
bait BBs. You'd see that and you're like, okay, they're going to come up at some point today in this area.
Yep,
And it was
that's
very
you're right.
specific to
That's
that.
exactly right. Yeah. You don't want too much bait. You just want enough.
Yeah,
But
it's like stuff that's already been blown apart probably in the past and separated and
yeah, I don't know why it was that way, but that's what I noticed. That was one of the first things I noticed when I went into Kimball. And then there was just floaters, like floaters all over
yeah.
when I hadn't been seeing them in other parts
Yeah.
of the lake. And then it was just, and they were bigger, obviously, you know, everything back there was bigger. It seemed like another notch up. We've seen that in the past too.
Yeah.
So, but as far as silver sides go in San Vicente, man, I don't know. That was the first cut. That was the first real sign of silver sides that I've seen, if that was silver sides at all. But
Yeah.
but they look different than the fry. You know, fry was one thing. It was associated with certain things and this and that. But that stuff was out like in the middle, and it was like small little spots. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll
Yeah.
by September, like when the 2-day normally is, they'll be out on that stuff. You know, it'll get big enough
Yeah.
for them to chase it
Yeah.
around like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
just
there was a little bit of that going on yesterday, but not much. I mean, Sean talked about getting on some spots there in the mornings, and there was that stuff over in Chimney that, you know, gets up on,
yeah.
not for very long, but there was a little bit going on, you know.
yeah, the stuff that I saw out there on Friday was on practice was there's some decent fish mixed in, but it was like one spot would pop up and then it by the time you got close, it was done and you'd try and
Yeah.
chase them around on forward facing and they'd be out of sight in a minute. Like those bass are going 800 miles an hour under the
Yes.
surface chasing stuff and
Yeah.
trying to judge where they were going was tough. And after a while, I just gave up on that. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. And probably not going to happen anyway, you know, on Friday. So that's why I didn't start
Yeah.
it. But there's definitely some quality fish running around in it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have to really work hard for those ones. And I
Yeah.
didn't feel like doing that, even though I ended up working really hard anyway, because it was definitely a different day
Dude,
than Friday. It was like night and day.
have you considered putting a seat in?
Oh, we did.
I'm this close to like I used it at Havasu and it worked out. I'm kind of getting used to it. But after yesterday, like my seat's going in. If I'm gonna be scoping and I know I'm gonna be scoping, I gotta put a seat in.
We did it. John came up with that idea for that one windy one that we were talking about earlier. We knew it was going to blow. He's like, dude, why don't we put the seat in so we can like at least lean on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
it,
even if it's dead calm and you have wakeboard boats everywhere, it's still a nice thing to not, you know,
Yeah.
you got something to lean up against and not lose your balance every 2 seconds when you got 4-foot rollers going by all day long.
yeah, my hips are sore.
Yeah.
And when before I logged in, when I was sitting backstage, before I heard you and John talking about it, you said you took a wake over the console. I did too.
No. Oh, yeah, over the stern.
Oh no, okay.
Into the freaking cockpit.
Mine came from the side through the cockpit, but I wasn't going fast. I was leaving my spot to go somewhere else, and I was about to get on pad, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna just wait this one out because I saw him coming. And I was like, whatever, you know, and I tried to angle it just right. And I came over the first one, and when the second one hit, it slapped the hull of the boat and it sent like I got barreled. It came all the way over, landed on the whole back part of the boat. And somehow I barely got wet, but dude, it sent like a gusher of water over the top.
Yeah.
And I want to check my camera and see if it got that because it's probably pretty darn funny. Because somehow I stayed completely dry, but it just went big old thing of water. My whole back deck was completely soaked.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a nightmare out there with the wakeboard boats.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've noticed about the Phoenix is they're really low to the water. Like really low to the water. And I kind of get wet, you know, just driving around like
when you're grasping around
idling.
And you get a little bit of wind and some slap, it kind of just constantly wet. I do this a lot. Like I'm like
I got a nice clean rag right here in my console to like you know, when we stop to do my glasses.
Right.
But don't get me wrong, overall, boy, that boat it's just I freaking absolutely love it. I couldn't wish for a better boat, in my opinion.
They're incredible, and
Yeah.
you just can't beat the customer service that you get with Phoenix. Like if you need something,
Yeah.
you just call him and you like talk to like the guy Tim over there, and he's like, "Oh, sorry about that. What do you need?" Like, "Oh, I need a decal. My decal blew off at
Right.
thing." They just send them out to you,
Yeah.
and like they stand behind their product. So I don't know. I just can't see myself in a different boat. I love this thing. It handles big water.
Yeah.
Um,
How
yeah.
how fast is that? How fast is your boat? Like
Uh,
now that I understand what's kind of going on and whatever, and I used to think I was like, oh, he's got a 225 on there. It's not that fast. And I was like, you know what? That boat, after I've been in several of the Phoenixes, I'm all that boat is a screamer. With a 19 footer with a 225, I was like, dang, that thing's got to go. How fast can you get it going?
I've had it over 74.
Have you really?
Yeah, and that's with
74?
fully loaded.
Yeah.
Fully loaded. In practice, I wasn't practicing at San Vio, never speed there, but I fully loaded. I had my live wells full and everything. And I hit 72.5 running back to Verona, no problem. And it had more. I could have kept trimming up, but I kind of almost ran out of space.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it gets up to where it needs to be real quick.
Right.
It's definitely one of the quicker boats.
Yeah.
It's a handful once you start getting in those
you gotta
speeds.
drive them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once I
But
put
I
weight
saw-
in mine, it settles down, but it doesn't go as fast, but I don't have to drive it. It'll go 72 without touching the wheel if you want.
Yeah. I've actually got my boat pretty dialed to where I feel very comfortable. It doesn't chine walk on me anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can go 72 and pretty much just every now and then grab the wheel and just bump it a little bit.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But speaking of fast boats, did you see that guy in that Ranger that was out there yesterday tooling around? He has kind of like a dark silver, almost copper colored Ranger with a red stripe on it and a blacked out motor. Like it looked like an older Optimax or something.
Was the blacked out motor?
Yeah.
Yeah. He works at Anglers Marine.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah.
Dude, that thing, he's got something done to that thing.
Did he flash it or something?
He must have, dude. That thing was ripping, dude.
He told me. I think he told me he was in the shop. He can do 72 in that.
He looked like he was going faster than that yesterday. So he got pulled over by the Ranger.
Oh, no kidding.
Oops.
You kind of gotta watch it there.
Dude, he was
Yeah.
flying, and he was flying through the 10-mile-an-hour zone in Kimball.
Oh,
That's why he got pulled over.
Yeah.
But dude, I just heard boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh my God, somebody is moving right now. And turn around, dude, this guy was on the plug.
Huh.
Dude, the bow of the boat was like 2.5, 3 feet out of it. That thing was skating.
Huh.
And he was walking all. I was like, dude, this guy is gnarly. And sure enough, the Ranger was just full.
Makes me wonder now.
Full bore behind him.
Motor he has on there. Huh. Okay.
Dude, it was scooting. I was like, that is the fastest Ranger I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen the bottom third of a Ranger's hull.
Yeah. Yeah, because they kind of ride nose down.
They ride pretty flat for the most part. This thing was like, dude, it was like this. It had so much bow lift.
Yeah, he had nothing in it. He's got no weight in it or nothing. Yeah.
It was pretty gnarly. The Ranger was like chewing them, dude.
You can't be doing that on a Saturday afternoon, son.
Saturday, dude. And I saw him later in the day coming around the island. I was kind of sitting around Quaid area, and he was coming through the wakes and chops, and dude was sending it. Like, it looked scary.
Wow.
I was like, thing was just bouncing, like prop was cavitating all over the place. I was like,
yeah,
this guy only knows one speed.
yeah.
It was pretty.
Cricky
But yeah,
Bobby.
I thought somebody else must have seen that. The guy was getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty funny.
Right on. The yeah, those guys those anglers marine guys have sent out a couple of different videos of them going fast of at San Vicente. Like on off days or whatever, you know, they go
Yeah.
out and test boats.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
New repowers or whatever.
I go fast all the time when I practice. I mean, it's fun, you know, and it's like we don't get to do it. We
It
don't
is fun.
we don't get to do it that much. We get
I
what, like
know.
2 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're from the launch to the back of Kimball, and if you stay on it and drive through the spots you're not supposed to, you're there in 2 minutes.
Right. Yeah, I know.
So it's like I gotta have fun every now.
Jim blew his his, you know, he wears hearing aids.
Oh, you blew it
And
out.
on the ride out, I'm like, okay, you ready? He's like, oh yeah. And we took off, and he's like, I pulled him back. He's like, my hearing aids fell out. They like blew out.
So nah.
Unfortunately, didn't lose them. But yeah, they were like flapping in the wind.
Oh, okay, so they had like something to hold them in at least.
Yeah. So
Little
now he
leash on
rides
there.
around like this.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's they're fun, man. I mean, I you gotta have fun every now and then and go fast. You gotta blow all that carbon out, you know?
Right. Yeah. They're meant to do that.
They really are. Every mechanic I've ever talked to said, dude, the San Diego boats have the most problems because they don't run wide open enough.
Mm. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
No, it's
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they like to be run. How's your boat, John? How are you liking it?
Everything's perfect, running good.
Good.
Got the Garmin dialed in finally, and
Yeah.
it's been really nice.
did you get the hot foot put in yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. I'd like to, but it's like $1,000 to have it installed and messing with throttle cables. I'm sure I could do it. I just have to get it put in.
Yeah.
I like that so much better. I like having two hands on the wheel, especially at Mojave. Like around here, it doesn't matter, but if you're
Oh,
out
yeah.
at Mojave, and Craig and I are going to be going to Havasu this year in Clear Lake, so it's like I'd rather just, and you know, if something happens, your foot comes off the gas. I mean, obviously you have the kill switch on too, but like you're slowing down even quicker. So
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
hot foot a lot. I feel
Yep.
I feel a lot more safe with it, anyways.
Yep. Yep, for sure. Now, what model is that? Is that the 920 or 921 or what is it?
921 Elite.
Okay. Yeah. It's a big one.
Yeah, it's a lot of boat.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna like it when you're at Mead or Mojave
Yeah. Or Clear
And
Lake.
he's
or
got
Clear Lake.
he's got power poles on it too, which is nice. That'll be
Yeah.
helpful for some stuff that we like to do. I think it's going to come in handy.
I think
I'd put
definitely Mojave too.
I'd put him on this thing, but I already have enough problem getting this thing into the garage. It's a whole process, and I just don't want to have to deal with trying to lower the poles and raise
Yeah.
them, lower them, raise them. And
Right.
I honestly don't think it would even work with the raising and lowering thing. I just don't know, because I'm
Yeah.
dealing with like half an inch of clearance
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
it under the garage door. You know, with the
Dennis
motor
is the
trimmed
same
down.
way.
I'd
Yeah.
like to, and I don't want talons. You know, the talons have the brackets that fold down, but
Mhm.
it's not worth it for me for maybe the 3 times a year we'd actually need them. You know, so
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather have power brakes.
I'm pretty jealous of those, honestly.
Dude, there's a lot of
Kyle
times.
Grover and those guys and his partner, they both have them. There's several guys that have them. And boy, I was like, God, it sure would be nice to be able to stop and not blow a spot out or blow a fish out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked
Because
about
even it makes me wonder
lot.
too, like how far does that travel underwater? Like that fish may be 40 or 50 feet or even further away, and you spin that trolling motor around and try to stop.
Oh, it cavitates. it cavitates and
Yeah,
starts like shaking the shaft, you know, like
the
it,
noise it makes, and then it's just you don't know how far that water goes, you know.
well, you
And
can see it sometimes on your forward facing. You see that disturbed water mushroom out in front, and it goes
yeah,
like 20 feet sometimes.
yeah, yeah, and you know
Uh,
it's going further
yeah.
Right. If
because
that's
it's
the
there
water
in
that
their
you're seeing,
environment.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
If
just
that's
what you're
what you're
seeing.
seeing, it's definitely more.
I've always been a big, I guess, opponent of the whole displacement theory, or a proponent of the whole displacement theory of like when you're going into a, like that fish feels your boat. It's not necessarily feeling like the graphs or the clicks or this and that. It feels that boat pushing water going forward. I know
Yeah.
Mike Gilbert talks about it too. Like, especially if you're going into a cove, like you're pushing these waves out of water, and that's the displacement of the boat that's really fucks them up, that really messes them up. That's what they feel, you know, this
Yeah.
21-foot craft.
Well, I
That's
was
my
Got the
opinion.
red
wondering,
flag.
like, you know, like what they should make, what I think would probably work just as good as power brakes. But you know, like how they put those drift things on power
Yeah,
poles.
yeah,
Why don't they just make ones that, like, when you activate them, they just open up, so it
yeah,
just catches the water instead.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like when you're moving forward, it just goes ooh, and like slows you down like a drift sock.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of turning on motors and everything, at least that would just be quick. It just, and
Yeah,
then would probably slow your momentum down enough to make a pretty big difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the Garmin, or maybe even the Move, they have a reverse button. Like you're
Yeah,
going forward, and then you just hit the reverse button. You don't have to change anything. It just goes in reverse and stops you. Of course, those props don't work very good in reverse.
have you
Yeah.
seen
But
that?
just to slow down at all, I mean, anything
Yeah,
helps.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
not lose the fish that you're trying to lock in on.
Right.
That's why that Garmin has that new turret mount that's
Yeah,
really impressive looking.
yeah,
It's
When I
yeah.
win the lottery, you guys will see it on my boat.
You'll know.
yeah,
There'll be signs.
Yeah. There'll be
yeah.
signs.
I'll be right there too because I know you'll buy me one too.
That's right. I
But
guess I got
no,
to start playing because I don't play. So.
same,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
same here.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, you guys. I appreciate you coming on. Congratulations on your 2 Anglers of the Year, right?
Yep.
ABA and East County Bait and Tackle.
Thank you.
Congratulations on 2 Anglers of the Year, same year. And how many wins did you have? How many? What was your final tally?
The lowest place we scored this year was 5th.
Yeah.
I think we had 5 wins, 3 seconds.
And a third in there somewhere, I think.
There was a third. Yeah, the first tournament of the year was a third. I don't even know now. It's like
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was incredible. Like you guys
was
really,
fun.
it was like a dominating performance. Both series, so congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
we're
welcome. And
happy.
thank you guys for coming on once again. I keep having you back on, but you keep winning. So, I mean, there's reasons for it.
Well, we
Any,
love chatting with you. So
Yeah. And
anytime. It's always fun just to talk fishing.
Craig, if everybody's still watching this after an hour, how do we get a hold of you to do a guide trip?
You can just find me on Instagram through Instant Messenger. Craig Taylor Fishing is the best. I do have my No Quarter Bass Guide Instagram,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I don't use it so much.
Okay.
I think I'm going to get rid of it, to be honest,
Okay.
and just do everything through Craig Taylor Fishing. It's just easier because
Okay.
I'll like not log into that one, and then I check back, and then I got a million messages, and they're like way too old, and
Like, why don't you answer me?
yeah. Well, it's like people are like,
Then you feel
"Hey,
bad.
are you available for this?" And it's like, oops. Like, and I don't want people to think I'm just totally shining them. It's
Yeah.
just I forget to log in on that one, so it's better probably just Craig Taylor Fishing.
How about losing them? Like there's like 2 Facebooks and 2 Instagrams, and then you got regular phone texts, and they contacted you somewhere in there, and they're like down the list of one of these DM
Yeah, I
messages,
know.
and I'm like, I know I have a guide trip coming up, but I can't find it. Like,
Yeah, I know. It's like
I
I don't
hope
know,
they
man.
message me.
It's it's one of those things where it's hard to stay on top of sometimes because everything is so informal. A lot of times with
Yeah,
trips,
yeah,
it's kind of like a last minute deal. Somebody reaches out, "Hey, man, I'm coming into town. Can I go fishing?" And you're
yeah,
like scrambling to see, like, I don't think I have anything going on. Yeah, sure, sure. And all right, we'll talk, a couple days before the trip, and we'll really hash out all the details. And then you're like, it's always you get that call or something when you're right in the middle of doing something else, or you're on the water, and then you're like, oh shoot, I gotta go find this guy, and I gotta like
yeah,
get his info, and I gotta send a invoice, and all that. So yeah, it can be tough, especially when it's like, this isn't our full-time jobs as much as we'd love it to be.
right,
It's not. So, it's you're balancing a lot. So sometimes it's hard to remember to check in those things. But
right,
so
yeah,
far I haven't forgotten anyone. It's just sometimes I've missed them because somebody asked and I never saw the message
yeah,
until it's too late.
yeah,
And they get snapped up fast too. Like I've had
yeah.
like Fogel be like, "Hey, can you do a trip blah blah?" And if I don't answer him in 10
It's gone,
minutes,
gone
it's
to the
like,
next
"Oh,
one.
no, don't worry about it. I already got it covered." So, I mean,
All right, you guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you,
all
John.
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you,
We'll
Craig.
talk to
Really
you
appreciate
soon.
it.
All right.
We'll get this out on Tuesday. So we'll talk to you
Awesome.
later.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
See ya.